Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. This is the second part of the video on dealing with children after they've been traumatized, like in the advent of a hurricane or some type of family trauma. What are the signs and symptoms of children experiencing trauma? Well, they can be quite varied, and I don't want teachers and administrators to feel pressured by the need to detect this, because even mental health professionals couldn't detect every kid who's been traumatized. Why is that? Because some will do an excellent job of going through the motions, and they'll still be doing well in school, but there'll be behavioral changes behind the scene, like they'll be more withdrawn, and they'll be more cut off from their emotions. They will learn what we call dissociation. They'll separate themselves mentally, emotionally from what's going on in their lives. That's a form of self-protection. What other signs and symptoms? Well, sometimes you'll see behavioral changes. You can see acting out, especially with boys, more aggression. You'll see people who are more irritable. They get frustrated more easily. They have low frustration tolerance, to use the clinical term. Some people will also take a nosedive in terms of their grades or scholastic performance. It will impact them because they don't seem to care as much. There's something wrong in their lives. I remember working with a little boy years ago who was acting out in all kinds of ways. And one day I sort of understood that it was probably related to his father leaving. And we did an exercise where he had a chance to imagine saying goodbye to his father. And his behavior completely changed after that. It was like he had a chance to finally address what was going on. Other signs and symptoms, you might see hyper-emotionality, meaning anger and rage or lots of tears. You might see a child become confused, or you might see someone have what we call hyper-vigilance. They're just extra anxious and wired and always looking for some type of surprise attack. They can't relax. They can't let their guard down because something happened that was traumatic to them. Again, all of this is treatable. So the key sometimes is just to notice, just to assess that there's a problem, and to point the child and the family in the right direction. There's always professional help with people who understand how to deal with trauma and how to deal with grief and loss. And I would encourage you to have something in mind, a plan to help those kids in need as quickly as possible.